What's your name, by the way?
Sebastian.
Sebastian, nice to meet you. Shetland.
Nice to meet you.
Good. So we're standing here with Freigeist Bierkultur. I'm talking to Sebastian. You're the owner.
I have a partner, Peter. So Peter and me, Freigeist Bierkultur, which is a brewery in Cologne. We have a brew pub there, and we have this project called Freigeist where we make a lot of experimental special beers, a lot with a historical background and a lot of what is just coming up in our minds.
Cool. You're the first German brewery we've ever met at CBC, which is really cool. But you have a lot of Gose Reinheitsgeboten, right? And Berliner Weisse. These are beer styles that are looking like they're coming back into a lot of American breweries are brewing this. All German styles. Tell us a bit about these styles, which are very interesting.
The styles are really great, but they were discontinued in brewing in Germany because people didn't like to have that sourness in beer that much anymore. So the last beers which were brewed in that way were like Berliner Weisse, and Berliner Weisse, like really everyone knows, it's like they try to sweeten it up with syrup, with woodruff syrup and raspberry syrup to make it more drinkable. It's a bit compared to Faro in Belgium. People are like, oh, lambic is too sweet, too sour. You have to add some sweetness to make it more drinkable. And so Gose died out twice in the 20th century, and so we don't have that much of the tradition still going on. It's on a very low scale, and we just try to make more beers of that kind because we think it's first of all very interesting, giving a lot more to the beer world, like our own style, and we like it a lot.
How are these styles, old styles, being accepted by beer drinkers in Germany? Most people think about Hefeweizen, Weissbier, lagers. Are the German people drinking these beer?
We don't care too much about the consumers too much because we are brewing beers for us, and luckily enough there are people enjoying our beers, so that's the reason why we are not trying to he's probably thinking it's too hoppy, so we shouldn't make it that hoppy. He's probably thinking it's too much of this spice, but more like, well, we want to have it this way, and we don't. Yeah, that's the reason why we don't care too much about the German consumer, like trying to sing in his head, because then we would make mainstream beer, and that's what we not want to do.
So your market is actually exporting beers outside Germany?
We have a way easier situation to sell the beers outside of Germany, so that's what we are up for, and we don't have a problem with that. So we don't need to sell it in Germany, and we have in our brew pub in Cologne where we are selling the beers, and people which are coming to our place know what it's about, so that's great. But outside of Cologne it's way more hard to sell those beers because people are not willing to try. It's too much stuff, too much new stuff, and that's pretty tricky.
I'm having a dark jester here. What kind of beer is this? What can you tell me about it?
The dark jester is a sour ale, which is we brewed 2 years ago with our friends from from Texas, and they were coming around, and we were brewing a smoked beer and fermented it with wild yeast from Chesapeake. And we use this yeast for making an experimental brew with bay leaves and juniper berries, and that's the reason why we call it dark jester. And I was just bringing it for the CBC because I knew Ron would be here, and he would be probably getting the attention, and he was coming around earlier, and I said, what is this dark jester? I'm like, what is this kind of yeast? And like, he loved it, and he really liked the beer, and so it was pretty funny. So
it is a very interesting brewery. I like Jester King, having grown their own yeast, harvested their own yeast, so pretty interesting story. Freigeist. What does that mean? What's the story behind the name?
Freigeist means free spirit. Geist is at the same time means ghost. So that's the reason why there's a ghost on the logo. But it just means free spirit because we're thinking outside of the regular conventions in Germany, which are about like, oh, purity law, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, okay, we want to make good beer. And if it takes to use spices or fruits or whatever, we use that, and we are fine with it. We just want to have good and natural ingredients, and that's the reason why we don't care about like, well, this is the rule, you have to brew according to that. Not with us.
So you have nothing positive to say about the Reinheitsgebot in Germany?
There are good parts about it, but it's fine if it would be only a label which you put on your product and you say, okay, it's brewed according to the purity law. But our problem is that in Germany you're not allowed to brew a product and call it beer when it's not brewed according to the purity law, which means we use juniper berries and it's not beer, but we have to pay beer taxes. There are German breweries are not able to take part in the European beer style, for example, even in categories which are about using adjuncts like spices, herbs, vegetables, and that's kind of annoying because the law situation is that you can import beers from other countries to Germany and you can call them beer.
Yeah.
And I would make the same beer in Germany and I wouldn't be allowed to call it, which is just like totally nonsense and dumb.
Yeah, it is.
So that's the reason why I don't like this situation. But the purity law in general is great because it just says you can have with very simple ingredients, you can make great beer. And you can make a great beer variety. And I think it's a good idea of like breweries starting, which first of all try to work with the base ingredients and then using other stuff, because it's not making sense trying your first beer and you make an imperial stout with licorice as the first batch. It's nonsense. Try a good simple beer, make it, see what's wrong about it, and prove it, and prove it, prove it again, then prove it again, then prove it, and then prove it, and then slowly start other stuff.
I totally agree with you. I think the beers you make really nice. You're one of the most one of those breweries I really was looking forward to meet. So I think this brewery is awesome. I understand you can get your products in Sweden, right? In Scandinavia, you can at least get it in Sweden. But
we work with the guys from Wicked Wine, so they're taking care of us in Sweden. So
good. Thanks for the interview.
Proud of a life